Throughout Hollywood's history, there have been tragic moments when actors died while working on movies or TV shows. Big names like Brandon Lee, Vic Morrow, and John Ritter all passed away during production, leaving fans and co-workers in shock. Did you know many other big names passed away on sets while their movies were still being shot? Whether it was due to accidents on set or sudden health problems, it was heartbreaking. Martha Mansfield. Martha Mansfield was a rising star in silent films, best known for her role in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde alongside John Barrymore. Tragically, she became the first person in Hollywood history to die on a movie set. The incident occurred on November 30th, 1923, during the filming of The Warrens of Virginia. While taking a break on set, Mansfield was seated in her car, wearing a Civil War-era costume made of highly flammable material. A careless bystander lit a match, which accidentally set her dress ablaze. The flames quickly engulfed her, causing severe burns. Despite the efforts of her co-star Wilfrid Lytell and others, who used coats and blankets to extinguish the fire, Mansfield succumbed to her injuries the following day. Tyrone Power. Tyrone Power, one of Hollywood's most dashing leading men of the 1930s and 1940s, met a tragic end while doing what he loved most: acting. On November 15, 1958, during the filming of Solomon and Sheba in Spain, Power was performing a strenuous dueling scene with his co-star George Sanders. The intense action and the physical exertion proved too much for him. Midway through the scene, Power collapsed on set, clutching his chest. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, but it was too late. He passed away from a massive heart attack at the age of 44. Power's sudden death marked the loss of one of Hollywood's brightest stars. Born into a theatrical family, Power inherited a love for acting from his father, Tyrone Power Sr., a renowned stage and silent film actor. Following in his father's footsteps, he rose to prominence in the late 1930s with roles in swashbuckling adventures and romantic dramas. His notable films include The Mark of Zorro, Blood and Sand, and The Razor's Edge, where he showcased his versatility and charm. Power's career was interrupted during World War II when he served as a pilot in the United States Marine Corps. After the war, he returned to Hollywood, balancing dramatic roles with the action-packed films he was celebrated for. At the time of his death, Power was at the height of his career, with Solomon and Sheba poised to become another success. His untimely passing left a void in Hollywood, and his legacy as a versatile actor and enduring icon remains strong to this day. Gareth Jones. On November 30th, 1958, Jones was performing in Underground, a play featured in the British anthology series Armchair Theatre. The narrative centered on survivors of a nuclear holocaust trapped in the London Underground. During the live broadcast, Jones portrayed a character who was scripted to die of a heart attack. In a poignant twist of fate, while off-camera between scenes, Jones suffered a massive heart attack and collapsed. His co-star Peter Bowles recalled that the cast saw Jones approaching, but then witnessed him fall. Unaware of the severity of the situation, the actors improvised lines to cover his absence. Director Ted Kotcheff and producer Sidney Newman made the decision to continue the broadcast. They instructed the cast to improvise and restructured the play during a commercial break to accommodate the unforeseen event. The actors were informed of Jones's death only after the broadcast concluded. Bela Lugosi, the iconic actor renowned for his portrayal of Count Dracula, faced significant challenges in the later stages of his career. By the mid-1950s, he was grappling with declining health and financial difficulties. In 1956, director Ed Wood, a devoted admirer of Lugosi, filmed several scenes featuring the actor for an uncompleted project, possibly titled The Vampire's Tomb. These scenes were shot without synchronized sound and lacked a definitive script. Tragically, on August 16, 1956, Lugosi succumbed to a heart attack at the age of 73. Determined to honor his idol and capitalize on the existing footage, Wood incorporated these silent scenes into his upcoming film, Plan 9 from Outer Space. To account for the absence of Lugosi in the remaining scenes, Wood enlisted his wife's chiropractor, Tom Mason, as a stand-in. Mason bore little resemblance to Lugosi and was noticeably taller. To obscure this disparity, Mason performed with a cape draped over his face, a technique that has since been widely criticized for its lack of subtlety. Plan 9 from Outer Space was released in 1959 and has often been labeled as one of the worst films ever made. Despite its flaws, the film has garnered a cult following, with particular interest in Lugosi's posthumous appearance. The inclusion of his footage serves as a poignant reminder of his enduring legacy in the horror genre. Eric Fleming. Eric Fleming, a notable figure of the 1950s and 1960s westerns, carved his legacy as the rugged trail boss Gil Favor on the popular television series Rawhide. His commanding presence and strong performances made him a household name, and he began branching out into feature films, further expanding his career. However, his life was tragically cut short during the production of a movie. In 1966, Fleming was on location in the Andes Mountains near Lima, Peru, filming the adventure film High Jungle. The production required him to perform a scene in the treacherous Huallaga River. While navigating the river in a canoe alongside his co-star, Nico Minardos, disaster struck. The canoe began to take on water and ultimately sank. Minardos managed to escape the danger, but Fleming, despite being an experienced swimmer and scuba diver, was overpowered by the river's swift currents. Tragically, he drowned at the age of 41. Despite extensive research, his body was never recovered. Fleming's death shocked fans and the entertainment industry alike, as he was at the height of his career. His passing underscored the dangers actors often face when filming on location, particularly in challenging and unpredictable environments. Fleming's contributions to the Western genre remain celebrated, and his tragic death serves as a somber reminder of the risks involved in creating on-screen magic. Vic Morrow. Vic Morrow's death on the set of Twilight Zone. The movie remains one of the most harrowing tragedies in Hollywood history. On July 23, 1982, Morrow was filming a segment of the anthology film directed by John Landis. In the scene, Morrow's character, a racist man, was tasked with rescuing two Vietnamese children from a war zone. The sequence involved a helicopter flying overhead as explosions were set off around them to simulate the chaos of war. During filming, a miscalculated pyrotechnic explosion damaged the helicopter's rotor, causing it to crash onto the actors below. Vic Morrow and the two child actors, Micah Dinley and Renee Shin-Yi-Chen, were tragically killed on impact. The accident led to widespread outrage and legal consequences. Investigations revealed that the children had been hired illegally without proper permits, violating child labor laws. Additionally, their presence on set at night further breached safety regulations. The case resulted in a high-profile trial, with director John Landis and several crew members facing charges of involuntary manslaughter. Although they were ultimately acquitted, the incident brought significant changes to Hollywood's safety standards and regulations for stunts and special effects. Morrow, best known for his roles in Combat and Blackboard Jungle, was 53 years old at the time of his death. His passing, along with that of the two young children, left an indelible mark on the film industry, highlighting the critical importance of stringent safety measures on sets. Adolf Caesar. Adolf Caesar, an Oscar-nominated actor with a distinguished career in film and theater, tragically passed away on March 6, 1986, at the age of 52. Best known for his commanding performances in A Soldier's Story and The Color Purple, Caesar was in the midst of filming Tough Guys alongside Hollywood legends Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster when tragedy struck. While on set in California, Caesar suffered a massive heart attack. He was quickly transported to the County University of Southern California Medical Center, but despite the efforts of medical professionals, he was pronounced dead in the emergency room. His sudden passing shocked the industry, cutting short a remarkable career at its peak. Caesar's contributions to the arts extended beyond film. A New York native, he was a celebrated theater actor, particularly known for his work in stage productions of August Wilson's plays. His role as Sergeant Waters in A Soldier's Story was transformative, earning him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in 1985. Reflecting on his unexpected rise to fame, Caesar once remarked, "It's a marvelous chemistry that happens 5 times in your career if you are lucky." that you and the part and the play work. Caesar's death underscored the loss of a deeply talented and versatile performer whose artistry resonated across stage and screen. His legacy lives on through his unforgettable performances and the impact he left on both mediums. Jon-Erik Hexum. Jon-Erik Hexum, a promising actor and model, tragically lost his life on October 18, 1984, due to a fatal accident involving a prop gun on the set of the television series Cover Up. Born on November 5, 1957, in Englewood, New Jersey, Hexum gained recognition for his roles in the TV series Voyagers and the film The Bear. On the fateful day during a break in filming, Hexum became restless due to delays. In an attempt to lighten the mood, he picked up a .44 Magnum revolver loaded with blank cartridges. Unaware of the dangers posed by blanks at close range, he placed the gun to his right temple and, in a simulated game of Russian roulette, pulled the trigger. Although blanks lack a bullet, they still produce explosive force. The discharge caused a powerful blast, fracturing Hexum's skull and propelling bone fragments into his brain, leading to severe hemorrhaging. He was immediately transported to Beverly Hills Medical Center, where he underwent 5 hours of surgery. Despite medical efforts, Hexum was declared brain dead 6 days later. In a final act of generosity, Hexum's organs were donated, benefiting multiple recipients. His heart was transplanted into a 36-year-old man, his kidneys went to a young boy and a middle-aged woman, and his corneas and skin tissue aided other patients. Hexum's untimely death at the age of 26 highlighted the critical need for stringent safety protocols on film and television sets, especially concerning the handling of firearms, even those loaded with blanks. Tommy Cooper. Tommy Cooper, the legendary Welsh comedian and magician, was a master of slapstick humor and a unique blend of comedy and magic that made him an enduring figure in British entertainment. Known for his towering stature, fez hat, and trademark delivery of intentionally failed magic tricks, Cooper became a household name in the 1950s and 1960s, appearing on numerous television shows and stages worldwide. Tragically, his life came to a shocking end on April 15, 1984, during a live television broadcast. Cooper was performing on Live from Her Majesty's, a popular variety show, when he collapsed on stage mid-act. At first, the audience and crew believed his fall to be part of his routine, as his humor often involved physical comedy. However, reality soon became evident when he failed to get up. Despite immediate efforts to assist him backstage, Cooper suffered a fatal heart attack and passed away. His death occurred in full view of millions of viewers watching the live broadcast, marking a somber moment in television history. Tommy Cooper's untimely passing highlighted the unpredictable nature of live performances. However, his legacy as a comedic genius endures, with his influence evident in generations of comedians who followed. To this day, he is remembered fondly for his unmatched ability to bring laughter to audiences with his unique charm and wit. Roy Kinnear. Roy Kinnear was a beloved character actor whose presence graced hundreds of projects across film, television, and stage. Known for his impeccable comedic timing and everyman charm, he often stole scenes, even in smaller roles. Born on January 8, 1934, in Wigan, Lancashire, Kinnear gained recognition in productions like The Three Musketeers and its sequel, The Four Musketeers, where he portrayed the loyal Planchet. Despite his immense talent, Kinnear rarely had leading roles, instead becoming a dependable and recognizable supporting actor. In September 1988, while reprising his role as Planchet in The Return of the Musketeers, tragedy struck. During a horseback scene in Toledo, Spain, Kinnear fell from his horse, suffering a fractured pelvis. He was rushed to the hospital, but complications arose, and he suffered a fatal heart attack the following day on September 20th, 1988. He was 54 years old. The incident not only robbed the world of a cherished performer, but also raised serious concerns about on-set safety. Roy's son, Rory Kinnear, an acclaimed actor known for roles in Black Mirror, Penny Dreadful, and James Bond films, has spoken about his father's untimely death and continues to advocate for safer conditions in the film industry. Roy Kinnear's legacy lives on through his work and the impact he had on the industry. Art Scholl. Art Shaw, a renowned American aerobatic pilot and aerial cameraman, tragically lost his life on September 16, 1985, during the production of the film Top Gun. Born on December 24, 1931, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Shaw developed a passion for aviation early in life. He pursued this interest academically, earning a degree in aeronautics from California State University, San Jose, and a master's degree from California State University, Los Angeles. Shaw dedicated 18 years to teaching aeronautics at San Bernardino Valley College, eventually leading the department before transitioning to a full-time career as a stunt pilot. Throughout his career, Shaw performed across the United States and internationally, captivating audiences with his aerobatic skills. He piloted modified de Havilland, Canada, DHC-1 Chipmunk aircraft, known as Super Chipmunks, and appeared in over 200 motion pictures, documentaries, and television commercials. His film credits include The Right Stuff, The Great Waldo Pepper, and Blue Thunder. During the filming of Top Gun, Shaw was executing an inverted flat spin maneuver to capture aerial footage. He radioed that he had a problem and was unable to recover from the spin. His aircraft, a Pitts S-2 camera plane, plunged into the Pacific Ocean near Carlsbad, California. Despite extensive search efforts, neither Shaw's body nor the aircraft were recovered. The exact cause of the crash remains undetermined. In recognition of his contributions and untimely death, Top Gun was dedicated to Art Shaw's memory. His legacy endures through his significant impact on aviation and film, inspiring future generations of pilots and aerial cinematographers.
Red Fox.
Red Fox, a legendary comedian and actor, was affectionately known as the King of the Party Records for his trailblazing stand-up routines that broke barriers in the 1950s. Fox transitioned from comedy clubs to television, gaining iconic status with his role as Fred Sanford in the 1970s sitcom Sanford and Son. The show cemented his place in entertainment history, showcasing his impeccable comedic timing and larger-than-life personality. In 1991, Fox made a celebrated return to television with The Royal Family, a CBS sitcom that reunited him with actress Della Reese. However, tragedy struck during a rehearsal for the show on the Paramount Studios soundstage. On October 11, 1991, Fox suddenly collapsed. Initially mistaken by some as part of his comedic antics, the severity of the situation became clear as crew members rushed to his aid. He was transported to Queen of Angels Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead from a massive heart attack. He was 68 years old. Fox's death was a devastating loss to the entertainment world. CBS Entertainment President Jeff Sagansky expressed the network's sorrow, highlighting Fox's immense talent and contributions. Known for his boundary-pushing humor and his ability to connect with audiences, Red Fox remains a beloved figure whose influence continues to inspire comedians and actors alike. John Ritter. John Ritter was a beloved actor whose boundless energy and natural comedic timing made him a household name. Known for his iconic role as Jack Tripper in the hit sitcom Three's Company, Ritter became a staple of television and film throughout the 1970s and beyond. His ability to balance slapstick humor with genuine warmth endeared him to audiences and earned him multiple accolades, including an Emmy and a Golden Globe. In 2002, Ritter made a celebrated return to sitcoms as the star of 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. The series showcased his comedic brilliance and his ability to connect with a new generation of viewers. Tragically, this would be his final role. On September 11, 2003, during rehearsals for the show's second season, Ritter suddenly fell ill. He experienced symptoms including severe chest pain, excessive sweating, and vomiting. Initially believed to be suffering a heart attack, Ritter was rushed to the hospital. However, tests revealed he had an undiagnosed aortic dissection, a rare and often fatal condition where the inner layer of the aorta tears. Despite emergency medical intervention, Ritter passed away later that evening at the age of 54. His death shocked fans in the entertainment world, highlighting the importance of early detection and awareness of aortic conditions. Ritter's legacy continues through his timeless performances and the foundation his family established in his name to promote heart health awareness. Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee, the son of martial arts legend Bruce Lee, was a rising star in Hollywood whose life was tragically cut short during the filming of The Crow. On March 31st, 1993, while filming a pivotal scene, Lee was fatally injured in a tragic on-set accident involving a prop gun. The film, a dark fantasy centered on revenge, was meant to showcase Lee's growing acting talent and cement his legacy as an action star. Instead, it became a symbol of Hollywood's lapses in safety protocols. The incident occurred when Lee's character was scripted to be shot at close range. A revolver used in the scene had been improperly prepared. A dummy round had been lodged in the barrel during an earlier scene, but was not removed before the blank was loaded. When the gun was fired, the blank propelled the lodged bullet fragment into Lee's abdomen, causing fatal injuries. He was rushed to the hospital, but after 6 hours of surgery, Lee succumbed to his injuries at the age of 28. Lee's death shocked the film industry, prompting an overhaul of safety measures involving firearms on set. The Crow was completed using a combination of body doubles and CGI and became a cult classic, dedicated to Lee's memory. Oliver Reed, remember Proximo, the dealer who bought the Maximus Decimus Meridius in Gladiator? Did you know he died while filming the movie? On May 2nd, 1999, Reed suffered a fatal heart attack while on a break from shooting in Valletta, Malta. At the time, he was portraying Proximo, a key character in the film, marking his return to a prominent role after years away from the Hollywood spotlight. Reed, notorious for his wild lifestyle and penchant for heavy drinking, spent the day at a local pub where, according to reports, he challenged a group of sailors to a drinking contest. As writer David Franzoni recounted, Reed consumed an extraordinary amount of alcohol, including pints of beer, shots of rum, and whiskey. During the revelry, he collapsed and, despite efforts to save him, was pronounced dead en route to the hospital. He was 61 years old. His sudden death posed significant challenges for the production of Gladiator. With some scenes incomplete, the filmmakers used CGI and a body double to recreate Reed's character, ensuring his pivotal role remained intact. His performance in Gladiator earned critical acclaim, and the film went on to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. Oliver Reed's untimely death highlighted his larger-than-life persona, both as an actor and as a man who lived unapologetically. His work in Gladiator stands as a testament to his immense talent and remains a fitting farewell to a storied career. John Candy. John Candy, one of the most beloved comedy actors of the 1980s and 1990s, was known for his warm, larger-than-life presence both on and off screen. A key member of SCTV and a standout in films such as Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, and Cool Runnings, Candy's career was marked by a string of critical and commercial successes that made him a Hollywood favorite. Despite his immense talent and affable nature, Candy faced significant health challenges throughout his life. His weight, combined with a history of smoking, drug use, and heavy drinking, took a toll on his health. Tragically, his career ended during the production of Wagons East, a Western comedy that would become his final film. On March 4th, 1994, while filming on location in Durango, Mexico, Candy wrapped up his scenes for the day and retired to his trailer. That evening, he called his children, spoke with them lovingly, and then went to bed. During the night, he suffered a fatal heart attack in his sleep. He was just 43 years old. Candy's passing left Hollywood and fans worldwide mourning the loss of a comedy legend. While Wagons East was critically panned, his enduring legacy is defined by the joy and laughter he brought to audiences, cementing his place as one of the greats in cinematic history. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger, one of the most talented and promising actors of his generation, tragically passed away on January 22, 2008, at the age of 28. Though not on set, his death occurred during the filming of The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, a fantastical film directed by Terry Gilliam. Ledger's sudden passing shocked the world and cast a shadow over the production. Ledger was found unresponsive in his New York City apartment due to an accidental overdose of prescription medications, including painkillers, anti-anxiety drugs, and sleeping pills. At the time, he was balancing the pressures of his career, fatherhood, and the physical and emotional toll of his intense role as the Joker in The Dark Knight. His dedication to his craft had earned him acclaim, but also left him exhausted, which some believe contributed to his tragic end. After his death, the production of The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus faced uncertainty. To honor Ledger and complete the film, Gilliam reimagined the story, enlisting actors Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell to portray different aspects of Ledger's character in dreamlike sequences. The adaptation allowed the film to pay tribute to Ledger's memory while preserving his original work. Ledger's death marked the loss of a phenomenal actor whose performances in films like Brokeback Mountain, The Dark Knight, and 10 Things I Hate About You remain iconic. His posthumous Academy Award win for The Dark Knight cemented his legacy as one of the most gifted performers of his time. Ray Liotta, celebrated for his iconic performance as Henry Hill in Goodfellas and a host of other memorable roles, Ray Liotta was a prolific actor who remained active throughout his career. Known for his intense on-screen presence, Liotta had an impressive filmography that included crime dramas, thrillers, and comedies. In May 2022, he was filming Dangerous Waters, an action thriller shot on location in the Dominican Republic when tragedy struck. Liotta, who was portraying a character referred to as the Captain, had completed filming for the day and returned to his hotel room. He passed away in his sleep, with the autopsy later confirming the causes of death as respiratory failure, pulmonary edema, fluid in the lungs, and heart failure. He was 67 years old. His sudden passing left fans and colleagues in shock, as Liotta had shown no public signs of serious illness prior to his death. Despite his untimely passing, Dangerous Waters was completed, with Liotta playing a significant role in the film. At the time of his death, Liotta also had 2 additional films in post-production, ensuring that his talent would continue to grace the screen even after his departure. Liotta's career was marked by versatility and dedication, with roles that ranged from the intense to the comedic. His unexpected death marked the loss of a cinematic great, leaving a legacy of powerful performances that will continue to inspire and entertain audiences for generations to come.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Regarded as one of the most extraordinary actors of his generation, Philip Seymour left an indelible mark on cinema with his profound performances in films like Capote, The Master, and Doubt. Known for his ability to embody complex and deeply human characters, Hoffman's career spanned independent films, blockbusters, and theater, where his immense talent was equally celebrated. At the time of his untimely death, Hoffman was venturing into mainstream blockbuster territory, portraying Plutarch Heavensbee in the Hunger Games series. He had completed the majority of his scenes for both parts of Mockingjay, the 2-part finale of the dystopian saga. However, with just a week of filming left for Mockingjay, Part 2, tragedy struck. On February 2, 2014, Hoffman was found dead in his Manhattan apartment at the age of 46. The official cause of death was acute mixed drug intoxication, with heroin, cocaine, benzodiazepines, and amphetamines detected in his system. His death shocked the film industry and fans alike, as Hoffman had been candid about his struggles with addiction in the past, but many believed he had been on a path to recovery. The filmmakers adapted the remaining scenes in Mockingjay, Part 2, to accommodate Hoffman's absence, ensuring his portrayal remained integral to the story. His passing not only highlighted the devastating impact of addiction, but also marked the loss of one of the most gifted actors of his era, whose legacy continues to inspire and captivate audiences worldwide. While watching their video, you may understand that filming is not easy and death is following you everywhere. You have to go when you have to go, no matter where you are and what you are doing. So we recommend you to keep praying and keeping doing good deeds, as we don't know when we are going to leave this world.
Seeing the performers leaving us live in front of our eyes is an incident that leaves an everlasting impression on us. There have been many artists, musicians, and performers who died while they were performing or acting in front of their audiences or live camera. Toomey Cooper. On April 15, 1984, while performing live on television, Cooper began his act in front of a packed audience and millions watching on TV. Suddenly, he clutched his chest and fell backward. Because of his reputation for mixing comedy with deliberate mistakes, the audience thought his collapse was part of the routine. They laughed and applauded, assuming Cooper was playing his usual role as the bumbling magician. However, behind the scenes, it quickly became clear that Cooper was in grave trouble. The show's host, Jimmy Tarbuck, and other performers scrambled to attend to him, yet the cameras remained on the stage for a few more moments, unaware of the severity of the situation. Cooper had suffered a massive heart attack on stage, and while the audience waited for the next part of the show, medics rushed to revive him behind the curtain. Tragically, he was pronounced dead shortly after being taken to a nearby hospital. Mitsuharu Misawa. On June 13, 2009, Mitsuharu Misawa, a celebrated Japanese professional wrestler, tragically lost his life during a live wrestling match in Hiroshima. Misawa was renowned for his intense, high-flying style and technical skill, qualities that made him a legend in Japanese wrestling. In the ring that night, Misawa was taking part in a tag team match when he was lifted for a suplex. In an instant, the atmosphere changed. Misawa collapsed in the ring, unresponsive. The move had resulted in a severe spinal cord injury, and it was clear to everyone in attendance that this was more than just an act. The live broadcast turned somber as officials, medical staff, and wrestlers rushed to his aid, performing CPR in the ring. Spectators, both in the arena and those watching on television, held their breath as medical personnel continued to administer emergency care. Despite immediate intervention, Misawa was quickly transported to a nearby hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead. Steve Irwin. On September 4, 2006, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, tragically passed away while filming Ocean's Deadliest, a documentary exploring the world's most dangerous marine animals. While snorkeling in the waters of the Great Barrier Reef, Irwin encountered an 8-foot stingray. As he swam closely behind the animal, which typically avoids human contact, the stingray suddenly whipped its tail upward in defense, striking Irwin with a powerful barb directly into his chest. The stingray's barb pierced Irwin's heart, causing a fatal injury. Although his crew immediately pulled him from the water and attempted CPR, their efforts were sadly unsuccessful. The incident was captured on film as cameras were rolling for the documentary, though the footage was never publicly released out of respect for his family and legacy. Irwin's sudden passing at the age of 44 shocked fans around the world, who knew him for his larger-than-life personality and unwavering commitment to wildlife conservation. Karl Wallenda. On March 22, 1978, Karl Wallenda, the legendary high-wire artist, met a tragic end while performing one of his most daring stunts: a tightrope walk between the towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico. At 73 years old, Wallenda was still pushing the limits of his art, embodying the thrill and danger that had defined his career. Known for his incredible balance, skill, and fearless approach to high-wire acts, Wallenda had captivated audiences for decades with his breathtaking stunts. On that fateful day, strong winds buffeted the wire as Wallenda carefully made his way across. Suddenly, he lost his balance and tragically fell to his death, a moment captured on camera. Though not broadcast live, the footage later circulated, bringing a somber reality to his legendary status. Wallenda's passing marked a heartbreaking moment in the world of circus arts, as he had become a symbol of extraordinary bravery and dedication to his craft. His death underscored the immense risks he undertook in every performance, and ended the career of a man who had lived his life on the edge. Pedro Henrique. On March 12, 2023, Pedro Henrique, a celebrated Brazilian guitarist known for his electrifying stage presence and exceptional skill, tragically passed away during a live performance at a music festival in São Paulo. Henrique, only 39 years old, was in the midst of an energetic set when he suddenly collapsed on stage, stunning the audience. Known for his work with prominent bands and a successful solo career, Henrique had built a reputation as one of Brazil's finest guitarists, captivating fans with his passionate, soulful playing. Emergency personnel rushed him to a nearby hospital, but he was sadly pronounced dead upon arrival. The cause was later determined to be a heart attack, a devastating shock to fans, friends, and fellow musicians who knew him for his dynamic performances and love for music. Valencia Prime. Valencia Prime, a 25-year-old transgender woman and prominent Philadelphia drag performer, tragically passed away on September 12, 2022, after collapsing on stage during a performance at Taboo Lounge and Sports Bar. Known as Philadelphia's plus-size dancing diva, Prime was hosting her live showcase, Primetime, when she suddenly became unresponsive. Despite immediate medical attention, she was pronounced dead at Jefferson Hospital. The Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office later determined the cause of death to be atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, classifying it as natural causes. Prime's untimely passing sent shockwaves through the local LGBTQ+ community and beyond. Tributes poured in from friends, fellow performers, and fans who remembered her as a vibrant and positive force in the performance community. Taboo Lounge expressed their sorrow, stating, "Today we mourn the loss of a very bright and rising star. We say goodbye to Valencia Prime, but we will not forget the light you brought to the stage." Colonel Bruce Hampton. On May 1, 2017, Colonel Bruce Hampton, a revered musician and pioneer in the jam band scene, passed away during a live performance in Atlanta. The concert, a star-studded 70th birthday celebration, featured Hampton performing with notable musicians from his extensive career, including members of his bands the Hampton Grease Band and Aquarium Rescue Unit. During a high-energy jam session, Hampton collapsed on stage, seemingly resting his arm on a speaker. At first, both the audience and his fellow musicians thought it was part of his theatrical style, known for blending humor and unpredictable antics into his performances. However, as the moments passed, concern grew as it became apparent that Hampton was in serious distress. Medical personnel quickly arrived and rushed him to the hospital, where he was sadly pronounced dead later that evening. Hampton's passing marked a profound loss for the music world, especially within the jam band and improvisational music community. Barbara Weldons. Barbara Weldons, a talented French singer-songwriter, tragically passed away on July 19, 2017, during a live performance at the Léo Ferré Festival in Gourdon, France. Known for her captivating voice and artistic expression, she had recently released her debut album and was gaining recognition in the music world. During her performance, Weldons, who often performed barefoot, accidentally stepped on faulty electrical equipment. This resulted in a fatal electric shock, causing her to collapse on stage. Despite immediate efforts to save her, Weldons was pronounced dead at the scene, leaving fans and the music community in shock. She was only 35 years old, and her untimely death cut short a promising career. Juan Jumalon. On November 5, 2023, Filipino radio broadcaster Juan "Johnny" Walker Jumalon was tragically killed during a live broadcast. Juan Jumalon, a beloved personality known for his lighthearted broadcasts on 94.7 Gold Mega Calamba FM, was not involved in controversial reporting. His program focused on spreading good vibes and jokes. The attack occurred early in the morning at Jumalon's home in Calamba, Misamis Occidental. Two men arrived under the pretense of making an announcement about lost belongings. One assailant held a staff member at gunpoint, while the other entered the radio booth and shot Jumalon twice. The gunman then stole a necklace and fled with a third accomplice on a motorcycle. The entire incident was caught on a Facebook live stream and CCTV. Sib Hashian. Sib Hashian, renowned as the drummer for the iconic rock band Boston, tragically passed away on March 22, 2017, while performing on a cruise ship. Hashian, born on August 17, 1949, was 67 years old at the time of his death. He had been a key member of Boston, contributing to the band's signature sound with his powerful drumming on albums like their self-titled debut and Don't Look Back. On the day of his death, Hashian was performing aboard a Legends of Rock cruise, a themed cruise featuring classic rock acts. During the performance, Hashian suddenly collapsed on stage. The cruise ship was sailing off the coast of the United States, and despite immediate medical attention and attempts to revive him, he was pronounced dead. Reports indicated that Hashian had been battling kidney cancer in the months leading up to his death. This diagnosis, coupled with his passing while performing, was a significant blow to fans and the rock community. The incident occurred during a live performance on the cruise, but it remains unclear if the performance was being broadcast or recorded for public consumption at the time. Dick Shawn. Dick Shawn, a well-known comedian and actor, died unexpectedly while performing on stage. On April 17, 1987, Shawn was performing a comedy routine at the University of California, San Diego, when he suddenly collapsed. At first, the audience thought it was part of the act, but it soon became clear that something was seriously wrong. Shawn suffered a heart attack and was pronounced dead shortly after being rushed to the hospital. He was 63 years old. Shawn was famous for his roles in films like It's a Mad, 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 Mad World and The Producers, and his sudden death during a live performance was a shock to many. Lillian Armstrong. Lillian Armstrong was an American jazz pianist, composer, arranger, singer, and bandleader. She was born on February 3, 1898, in Memphis, Tennessee, and was the second wife of Louis Armstrong. Known for her performances with jazz bands and her collaborations with notable musicians such as Earl Hines, Armstrong had a significant impact on the jazz scene. After Louis Armstrong's death on July 6, 1971, Armstrong traveled to New York for his funeral and rode in the family car. Following the funeral, she returned to Chicago with plans to continue working on her autobiography. However, on August 27, 1971, while performing at a televised memorial concert for Armstrong, she collapsed at the piano and died from a heart attack on the way to the hospital. She was 73 years old. KK. Indian singer KK, whose full name was Krishnakumar Kunath, passed away on May 31, 2022. KK was a celebrated playback singer in the Indian film industry, known for his versatile voice and memorable contributions to Bollywood music. Born on August 23, 1968, in Delhi, KK began his career as a singer in the 1990s and quickly gained recognition for his soulful and emotive voice. He recorded songs in various Indian languages, including Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Bengali. Some of his most popular tracks include Tadup from Hum Dil De Chukai Sanam, Pyar Ke Paal from Hate Story, and Kya Kehna from Kya Kehna. KK's death occurred during a live performance in Kolkata. He was performing at a concert at the Nazrul Mancha Auditorium when he suddenly collapsed. Despite being rushed to a nearby hospital, he was pronounced dead on arrival. The cause of his death was reported as a cardiac arrest. KK was 54 years old at the time of his passing. His untimely death shocked the Indian music industry and his fans, leaving a significant void in the world of playback singing. Zoltan. Hungarian music star Zoltan dies during Swedish live TV show. He was performing for a video recording when he had a sudden heart attack and collapsed in front of camera. Many German and Hungarian newspapers then questioned his natural death and considered it a planned murder. Costa Titch. South African rapper and dancer Costa Titch, whose real name was Konstantinos Sobanoglu, tragically died on March 11, 2023, during his performance at the Ultra South Africa Music Festival in Johannesburg. While on stage, he collapsed twice, with the second collapse proving fatal. Despite quick medical attention, Costa Titch was pronounced dead shortly after the incident. The exact cause of his death remains unconfirmed, with speculations about a possible seizure. Papa Wemba. The legendary Congolese musician known for pioneering soukous music, Papa Wemba died on April 24, 2016, during a performance at the Femua Music Festival in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. He collapsed on stage, and despite immediate efforts to revive him, he was pronounced dead shortly after. Papa Wemba's music career spanned decades and influenced generations, blending traditional African rhythms with modern sounds. Goodbye to Gravity. Goodbye to Gravity, a Romanian metal band, faced a tragic disaster on October 30, 2015, during their album release concert at Collective Nightclub in Bucharest. A pyrotechnics display ignited the club's soundproofing foam, causing a devastating fire. The blaze spread rapidly, leading to a stampede as attendees tried to escape. Sadly, 64 people lost their lives, including 4 band members: Vlad Telea, Mihai Alexandru, Bogdan Inache, and Alex Pascu. The incident led to national mourning and sparked significant protests over corruption and lax safety regulations in Romania. Irma Boulevard. The popular Indonesian dangdut singer, known for her daring performances with cobras in her neck, was tragically died on April 4, 2016. During a live performance in Karawang, West Java, Irma was bitten by a king cobra snake that she used as a prop on stage. Despite initially refusing treatment, believing the venom had no effect, she later collapsed and was rushed to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Tiny Tim. Another person who died while performing was the American singer famous for his unique falsetto voice and ukulele performances. His name was Tiny Tim. He gained fame with his hit Tiptoe Through the Tulips in the 1960s. On November 30th, 1996, while performing at a gala benefit in Minneapolis, Tiny Tim suffered a heart attack on stage. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after. Christina Grimmie. She was a talented singer and former contestant on The Voice. The tragically died on June 10, 2016. After a concert in Orlando, Florida, she was signing autographs for fans when a gunman approached and shot her. Despite immediate medical attention, Christina succumbed to her injuries. The assailant, who was tackled by her brother, then took his own life. Christina Grimmie was just 22 years old. Dimebag Darrell. Legendary guitarist for Pantera and Damageplan, was tragically killed on December 8, 2004. During a Damageplan concert in Columbus, Ohio, a gunman rushed the stage and shot Darrell multiple times, killing him instantly. 3 others were also killed before the shooter was taken down by a police officer. Darrell, known for his influential guitar work and energetic performances, was 38 years old. Owen Hart. On May 23, 1999, during a WWE pay-per-view event called Over the Edge, saw a tragic incident. Owen was performing a stunt where he was supposed to descend into the ring from the rafters using a harness and grapple line. However, something went wrong during the stunt, causing Hart to fall approximately 78 feet and land in the ring. Despite immediate medical attention, Owen Hart succumbed to his injuries. WWE never released the official video of his falling. On October 11, 1991, Red Fox, the beloved comedian famous for his role in the television series Sanford and Son, collapsed on the set of the television show The Royal Family while rehearsing a scene. Fox was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. His death was attributed to a heart attack, which he suffered at the age of 68. Dawn Brunchot. She was an experienced trainer at SeaWorld Orlando. During a routine interaction with an orca named Tilikum, the whale unexpectedly grabbed her and dragged her underwater. Despite efforts to rescue her, Brunchot succumbed to her injuries. The incident shocked the world and sparked debates about animal captivity and trainer safety. She tragically passed away on February 24, 2010. Silver King, on May 11, 2019, while performing in a wrestling match at the Roundhouse venue in Camden, London, Silver King, a Mexican wrestler and actor, tragically passed away. He collapsed in the ring during a bout and was pronounced dead shortly afterward. Nick Menza. On May 21, 2016, Nick Menza, the former drummer of the band Megadeth, tragically collapsed on stage while performing with his band OHM at a club in Los Angeles. Efforts to revive him were unsuccessful, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Juan Carlos Formell. On 26 May 2023, during a performance in the Bronx, Formell suffered a fatal heart attack at the age of 59. He was a Cuban musician and composer. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, the legendary martial artist and actor, died unexpectedly on July 20, 1973, at the age of 32. Known for his groundbreaking films like Enter the Dragon and his philosophy on martial arts, Lee's death shocked the world. He was in Hong Kong working on a film when he collapsed. The official cause of death was cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain, possibly caused by a reaction to a painkiller he had taken earlier. Brandon Lee. Just like his father, Brandon Lee also died in a tragic accident on March 31, 1993, during the filming of the movie The Crow. During a scene where Lee's character is shot, a prop gun that was supposed to fire blanks instead discharged a real bullet fragment. The gun had been improperly prepared. A bullet with no powder had lodged in the barrel during a previous scene. When the blank was fired, it propelled the lodged bullet fragment, hitting Lee. Lee was struck in the abdomen and collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital where surgeons tried to save him, but after several hours of surgery, he was pronounced dead. The official cause of death was a gunshot wound.